to Terry on Tuesday, coming to you from the kitchen of creation on a Sunday afternoon, as per usual. But it's Tuesday for you, right? Anyway, yes, more Marvin stuff. As you can see, there is, well, you can't quite see, there's junk everywhere. This place is not a good place to be preparing and eating food, because it's probably as toxic as Chernobyl in here with the amount of dust and filth floating around. Anyway, that said, what have I done since last week? Oh, quite a lot actually. Without ticking it all off, I have done stuff to the head. Let me show you the head. Okay, so as you can see, Marvin's turntable, his Lazy Susan, is now on his head. That involved a lot of filler and glue and screws and bolts and stuff. And you'll also notice, if you can, that I've painted the inside of the head a nice gloss grey, just to kind of make it less dusty and more comfortable and slightly darker inside. It's the old stormtrooper thing of painting the inside of your helmet black, just so people don't look in as much, you know, kind of, it's nicer. Anyway, so that's that. All I need to do is countersink a few more of the holes on the inner fittings, and then I can temporarily glue in the screws which hold the turntable onto the head. So that's pretty much done. Next thing, I'm just going to take this back. Oh, right, torso time. Many changes have been done. So let's move that out of the way for now. Right then. So torso wise, this is how I'm going to do it. One plate attached to the front, one plate attached to the back. I have, as you can see, these are not a circle anymore. I've actually cut the extra off the bottom, just so now I can get my arms in properly without anything cutting under my armpits. And these Lazy Susans for the arms are fitted on. I do need to change up the bolts because they're not perfect, but for now they work quite well. And obviously the upper arms will be connected to these, so when my arm goes in, I can swivel them as such. Now, in my mind, that was noisy. In my mind, I'm still a little bit annoyed that I didn't, do you know what, never mind the paper, you'll see pictures here, that the arms aren't mounted as high up as they should have been. The shoulders should be level with the top of the torso. I can change that if I want. It would involve a bit of potch. Either I completely get new laser cut side plates, or I cut a bit off the top and move everything up. But I'm not going to do that this side of July. If I do decide to change it in future, it will be only because I've worn it a few times and decided they need to be higher. But if they're fine, they're fine. I'm not going to get stressed out about it too much. Yeah, so also on the torso, you may remember I put this white plastic beading, perforated stuff, to give the skirt something to grab onto. I might take this off. I might be taking most of it off, keep some on. I do quite like the idea of having holes in the corners, but this side beading is still digging into my sides a little bit, and I don't really need it, and I'll tell you for why. Let us get the skirt. Okay, skirt. So let's take that one. Okay. So this one's had a bit of work done it. I've neatened up the edges. You'll see that I've put plastic strips all the way down the inside to strengthen it a lot, so it's a lot stronger than it was. I've done some filler across the top here to smooth out the bits. Still need to do the front. But as you'll see, there's this giant return edge here, which I thought, how can we do this to show you? Kind of fit like that, okay? And the idea was to basically bolt the return edges together. But I don't think I need to do that. All I need to do is bolt the corners, bolt on those two corners, see if I can do it front facing. So imagine you've got a bolt going through the top corners there. This would be the front piece. And I've got holes in the corners here. They bolt onto there like that. Job is pretty much a good one. On the sides, I can hold it on with something like magnets or Velcro, because they don't need to bear any weight, they just need to be in contact with the torso. So if I can turn this around a little bit, so sideways on, the bolts go through in the corner, not getting in my way, not cutting into me in any way, and the sides just need to be held together like that. And that's fine, that's fine. This will have a plate across it anyway. Cue picture. You'll see that there's an octagonal plate along the side just to hold the two skirt sections together. But other than that, it's fine and dandy. My only slight concern, which is not a massive concern, is that once the arms are on, will my hands bump into this? This sticks out by 2 inches, this flaring out bit. Sticks out by 2 inches. I'm wondering if the arms will bump into this. On the real thing, I don't think it sticks out as far as 2 inches, maybe 1.5 inches, but the forearms may stick out a bit further to clear said skirt. Still, not a major problem. If my arms have to rest on a, not at my sides, but on a slight angle like such, I don't mind. I don't mind. So yeah, there is a picture here. I won't bother posting one up. You can see here the display Marvin, his arms are right at his sides and his forearms are not touching the skirt flary bit. But my forearms and hands on the Marvin are bigger. So let's show you some arm stuff, shall we? Yeah, let's move all this stuff out of the way. Let's sort of take this back. Right, upper arms and a hand. Upper arms are basically finished now. They are pretty scruffy, I will admit they're pretty scruffy, but I have added these screws and bolts here. They don't do anything, they're just for show to match the real arms. Same with these hex bolts here and there on both arms. They're a little small, but I bought a bag of 6 of these for £2 or £3 in Halfords rather than getting the full size ones, but they're fine, they're just for show anyway, they don't do anything. As you can see, last week I've added the nice stainless cap there and those 2 on there. I've repainted the black area here on the mount. It's still not perfectly smooth, but I might give it another coat of black. That's just Humbrol black, by the way. Oh, I did say they were completely finished. They're not completely finished. What I need to do now is get my aluminium silver tape all the way around there to make it look a bit more silvery. But other than that, it's pretty much done. Hands are done. As you can see, all I need to do now, I'm going to put a piece of black felt, I think, from here to here to cover my hand. I won't be wearing gloves inside the thing, I don't think. But they've got their rubber stuff on, we've got the nice little chrome things. The real Marvin doesn't have chrome there. It's usually the white plastic caps, but I quite like the chrome. Let's take these back and show you the feet. Right, feet. Feet complete. Feeto completo. That's an ankle, by the way. It's a very big ankle, but I want it to be very big to have as much movement as possible. So what I did with the feet was add the spongy gasket all the way around the bottom, so we've got a bit of a soft sole. I think the real thing has some sort of EVA foam. This is self-adhesive gasket, as you can see here. The red stuff you just peel off and you stick it on, and the profile of the gasket is a kind of flat bottomed circle like that, as Freddie Mercury says. Flat bottom circles, you make the rocking world go round. And also I scraped off a load of paint and filler to get back down to the plastic so I could glue these on. More rubber strips which were designed to avoid scratching on the ankle piece. You see? So it's kind of like that. I mean, admittedly it's a bit wide, but if it was any tighter, I may not have any sort of wiggle room for walking. I'm trying to give myself as much comfortable walking as possible. If I need to narrow this down, I'll reprint them. I'll get someone to reprint them because I don't have a 3D printer anymore. But I'm happy with the way it's looking. Marvin's feet are huge, and my ankles and stuff will go into there. They will fit. I can fit trainers underneath as well. I say this is probably bigger than usual, but those look and feel about right for the actual real thing. Real feet. So that's the feet complete. Let's put them down there. And, well, actually, leave one up. Let's move this piece of torso. By the way, I did bolt myself into the torso. You may have seen last week, pictures here. Looks a bit weird with me without the arms on. You know, look, I started worrying if the proportions were too big, like the head was too tall and the body was too narrow. But when I compared it on this pic to the real thing, you can see the proportions are pretty much right. I will say that I think the torso, if I ever had to do it again, I would make the torso maybe a little longer in the bottom half underneath the chest unit. Maybe half an inch wider, I don't know. That would probably just add to comfort. But obviously above the feet is connected to the ankle bone. The ankle bone is connected to the shin bone. Now, these are the shin pieces, which I totally admit are slightly inaccurate in the modelling, because these are version 3. I'll show you version 1. I tell a lie, these are version 2. Version 1 was smaller and didn't fit. Version 2 are very close to the real thing. As you can see, it's just one piece printed 4 times to make a complete shin. And this is very close to what the real thing looks like, with the angles and everything, and the inset curve and the blocks, etc. But inside are a lot of sharp corners, and it makes it very big, that even if it fits over there, which is actually rather nice, I mean, it looks nice, but it's just not comfortable to wear. I think this would cause me a lot of problems. Plus, the thighs I've got won't fit over the top of these prototype shins. So what I decided to do, version 3 came along, I decided to make them as close as possible as I could to the real thing, but no sharp edges at all inside, very thin, much thinner. The ridges and everything are a lot more shallow, just so I can kind of, let's compare it, shall we? Compare it to you can see how deep the ridges are on the white things there, but you know, everything's a lot less pronounced. I mean, look at the gap we've got here, which is great. This bit here, look how great that is, and this is very, very narrow indeed. But unfortunately, like I say, I'm not going for 100% accuracy. I've got to be able to wear this thing, and I'm not the most svelte of chaps, let's say, but these I think will work nicely. Now, these were 3D printed by myself in 4 pieces, joined together, and then I gave them to my mate Steve, who has been working on the feet and the shins and the hands for me. He's an absolute genius with a sander and paper and filler and stuff, and he's done an amazing job. I painted them, but Steve's done the sanding and stuff. So thank you, Steve, for that. Let's have a quick look at the shins and the job he did. Okay, let's just take a second to appreciate what an amazing job Steve has done on these shins. They are literally smooth as glass. No filler, or as far as I can tell, almost no filler. He sanded them to within an inch of their life. Even the join here, you can't even feel it. It's absolutely perfect. Like I say, print lines on the inside. Outside, nothing. Super nice, super nice. Really appreciate that, Steve. So yeah, they look stunning, and currently you see that I've got this kind of ridgy thing on there, where the plan originally was to kind of join them together. You see the thing there fits in there, and that one kind of fits in there, etc. something like that. But even then, I think they're pretty big, because I've got to fit thighs on top of this, and there's tons of room, look how much room there is. So I bit the bullet, and I decided to saw off this entire ridge on both sides. So here's one I made earlier, as they say in Blue Peter, with the ridges cut off. So you can see I've cut right down there. And now when that's glued together, I will have bought myself an extra couple of inches. See, it's a weird trade-off. If I make this narrower, it touches the shin, but if I make it wider, it will bang into the thigh because everything is sort of concentric. But what I'm going to do is join these together, and there will be a strip of either plastic or aluminium, probably aluminium actually, down the side as they are on the real thing. You will see right down the bottom there are some aluminium strips, at least on the outside. Are they on the inside? I cannot tell. I think they are actually. Anyway, so today's thing is to basically hack off the ridges here, like I've done with these. Glue these together. I bought a load more epoxy glue and super glue, etc, etc, etc. I do need to sort of reinforce, see the white strips there, that's reinforcing the joins. They are dead smooth, thanks to Steve. And once these are joined together, I move on to the thighs, which are even bigger. And then we are going to start to work out to see if we can actually make some kind of braces, or if you're American, suspenders, which we call them braces, or braces in the UK, because suspenders is just kinky. Basically, when you're a stormtrooper, the way you get dressed as a stormtrooper, you put your undersuit on, then you put a belt on, and the belt hangs some elastic straps where your thighs and shins and all are all connected to, or at least your thighs, just held up by your belt. Now, I need to do the same thing. So when I'm putting Marvin on, the first thing that would go on would be the belt, and the undersuit obviously, and then hang the thighs on, and then put the shins on, then the ankles, then the feet. That's going to be fun. It's a very, it's a trade-off game and gambling. It's a kind of, right, how much room have I got, how much can I move? I'm looking at these being too big now, but then again, I'm going to get my legs in here, so, you know, I don't want to cut anything down just yet, because I need to sort of make sure that all the pieces are covering my legs and there's no gaps, but at the same time, they've got to be able to move. So there's this trade-off of like, how much do you cut off versus how much you leave on. Now with the thighs, where are the thighs? I'll go get the thighs, one sec. Here's a set of thighs. Again, a bit like the originals, I've gone as thin as possible with no sharp bits on the insides. These are going to be joined together like so, and they go over the shins. So if I can move these, and him, and you, and put a shin there. Okay, so the thighs will go together over the shins, and again there's a bit of room there. I'll turn it sideways so you can see. So imagine that's my shin with my leg in, and something like that. So there's a bit of movement there. I know that the opening for the thighs will fit inside the skirt, and yeah, I'm hoping that will. It doesn't have to bend as much as that, you know, like a knee joint. It just needs to bend enough for me to sort of waddle along like Marvin does. So we need to be finding that out. So yeah, that's about everything for Marvin so far. I think I'll put in some video up here of him walking from the TV so you can see what's going on with him. And some other photos will be coming along through this entire video, no doubt, to make it slightly more entertaining, because this is a boring video. Anyway, I'm around the 20-minute mark, so I think I better get on with it, because it's Sunday and I've got too much to do in the week as usual, and I need to crack on with everything. So what I'm going to do today is primarily work on the shins. Alrighty, a little bit of extra for you. It's about an hour or two later after filming the main part of this video. So I've assembled one of the shins. So I can take it into the light so you just see. So as you can see out the back, I've been sawing and drilling lots of aluminium and stuff, just like I did with the arm plates. So I've got these temporarily screwed in both sides, and my plan is now to basically put some epoxy glue, out of focus, epoxy glue down the middle there to glue the two sides together. Then once they're dry, I should be able to take the aluminium bars off, spray paint the entire thing, then put the bars back on with the handy dandy plastic caps. I've realised I'm 2 caps too short to do both legs, but other than that I think they're going to work out quite nicely. I might have to do this for the thighs as well, so I need to order more aluminium. Anyway, there you go. And I may assemble the arms as well and see if I can get them onto the side plates. And I will leave you with this amazing picture of me in the suit from Steve. So far, my hope is still strong. My resolve is still strong. I still reckon we'll get him done in time for July, end of July, for the Cardiff Tattoo Con. If you haven't watched my previous videos, the Cardiff International Tattoo Con, I think it'll be the 9th year, or is it the 10th? I think it's the 10th year that I'm hosting. I host in person. Previously I used to host as Jack Sparrow, but now I host as myself. And occasionally, at least for a couple of stints on Saturday and on the Sunday, I'll try and get into Marvin, because we have a very special guest from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I don't know if I can tell you about it. I may have talked about it last week actually. I'm not going to say anything just in case. Anyway, if you want to come to Cardiff International Tattoo Con, go to their Facebook page. Just type in Cardiff International Tattoo Con, it'll come up. I just type in tattoo convention and it pops up. And you can get tickets, and you can, I think there may be even some tables left if you're an tattoo artist and you want to have a stall there. It's great fun. It's a good weekend. It's not as weird as it sounds. It is a lot of people getting tattooed, but there's things on sale, and there's not just, there's artwork on sale, sculptures, ornaments, you name it, and it's all taking place in a big hotel over 4 floors. And I shall be there to try and help you all out with regular annoying announcements and occasionally stomping around in Marvin if at all possible. Right, that's it for me this week. I know it's been more of a show and tell. These days I find it better to just do the work off camera and show you what I've done the following week. It involves less editing, less time, and for me at the moment time is not in great supply. He says, finding words to use, and it's coming along well. I'm feeling pretty good about it. I am a little worried about the legs and everything fitting together, but we shall cross that bridge when we come to it, sooner or later. I can't put it off anymore, gotta start working on them. So anyway, that's it for me for this week. It only goes to say, have fun, do the likey, sharey, subscribey thing, leave comments, because that helps the algorithm, kids, even though I don't have enough subscribers to monetize anything I do, so what's the point? Anyway, take care now, bye bye then.